I would just like to see going forward more information and better meeting minutes. Just so that we are aware, you know, like, you know, this one from September, you know, you have who was in attendance and it just says storm prep, Helena.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what are you doing?
Verifying the trucks, verifying we have fuel in the trucks, the water's filled, all the chainsaws are operational, the generators are operational. On a storm prep, it's basically, that's all it is. Basically having everything to where we know when we go, we're not going to be going, oops, I don't have this, or oops, that didn't work. We just go through the truck, verify everything's good, extra tarps, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, just, you know, kind of like an agenda like we have. You know, what is discussed at your meeting? What is it that you're voting on? You know, just a little more detail so we know, you know, and like Joe was saying, trainings and that sort of thing, just so that we're in the know a little more than, you know, what we get, kind of thing. I mean, I know, you know, I'm not asking you for a PHI and, you know, exactly who it is and, you know, what exactly you did. I just, a little more detail, if that makes sense.
A little less abbreviated.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Not full details, but a little more info.
Another, for instance, like when you take someone to the department.
Sorry?
Like when you take someone to the department, we've learned to figure out something as good as like read a second meeting.
Right. It's before there's any vote allowed for the department for a member to join, they must attend 3 consecutive meetings. Then after at the third consecutive meeting, then they can be voted on.
Do you have, is that written someplace?
Yes, that is in the bylaws, or yeah.
Do we have a set of the bylaws?
Yeah, because you actually gave them to me.
Oh, that was, yeah, I wasn't talking bylaws, but it was the ordinance.
SOGs, yeah, the ordinance, it's the SOGs.
Yeah.
It's actually in there. Yeah, it's actually in that.
And I want to echo what Mr. Phillips said. There's not, I probably don't even know all of them, but the ones I know, and then I see over there FF1 by their name, firefighter 1, firefighter 2, whatever it is.
Yes.
If they've got those qualifications, I don't think that there's any question about the qualifications. If I were a firefighter, I don't see anybody on there that I wouldn't fight fire with.
Right. And we do have can't give you an exact number. I have a few of them that are not firefighters. They're not certified firefighters yet. Now,
They don't fight fire.
but they don't fight fire. They can operate the truck. They can pass out snacks. They can help put away the hoses and all. There's a difference, and that's the firefighter 2. There's differences in those, and we follow, because that's something, if the state marshal and they show up, if he ever goes up and goes, okay, who's this one? What's their certifications? What did they do? We stay within those, because they will ask. We always make sure we follow those guidelines.
Once upon a time, we had a fire department that had a firefighter in it that a firefighter from another department didn't necessarily like. But that firefighter that didn't like the first one said, if I had to fight fire in hell, that's the one I want to do with you. So it's not qualifications. If they're good firefighters, if they satisfy you and you, who am I to question that?
Yeah, I did not get my actual certification until I came to Florida. I fought many of fires in Alabama, not certified. I knew it before I got certified. But the way the state law is now, the state cares whether you're certified or not. Unfortunately, and I have a gentleman, I'd love to let him fight fires with me in a house. I've done it other places. I fought with him, not in this county. But there's no way he would ever be allowed in a building because he is not certified.
But just to help y'all understand some rules that we have, all right? Even the ones who are not firefighters, we have what's called a hot zone, which is 1.5 times the size of the structure. Okay, that guy cannot enter that until we announce the word mop up. They are allowed to go in after that and help put out the small stuff, and that's their training. That's how they learn. Okay. Other than that, there's really no issues. As long as they went through EVOC, they can drive our equipment, they can respond, they can help. But that's how we protect. If anybody on scene at any point in time gets burnt in any way or form, they have to go to the hospital by Florida state regulation. That's me or anybody else. So that's how we have to protect those guys. If they get caught in the hot zone and get burnt, that's us. That's y'all. So we're protecting you.
That's why we stick with state regulations on
Yes.
that.
And I'm not challenging that, I'm just saying that there are pictures that show Wausau volunteer firefighters pulling a hose, fighting fire without a bunker gear. Not recently.
I was gonna say, not recently, I don't, none that I know about, with the exception of, with the exception of a brush fire.
I'm just saying.
That's a different set of rules and regulations too.
Where we been.
Yeah.
Right. To the best of my knowledge, there shouldn't be nobody up on a building without gear on.
Okay. Who's doing your grants?
Great. That's me.
That's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
This year, I can tell you our plan for this year so far is we need a new set of extrication gear. We need some new tools to cut cars open. We don't get a whole lot of car calls anymore like we used to because the county has that quick response truck. So we don't get a lot of calls. But when we do, it's usually there's a death involved. And that's when they can't sit on the job, everything slows down at that point. Okay. Then they'll bring us in and we'll cut the person out meticulously and get the person out. We haven't had to do that since Hurricane Michael. That's how long it's been. We've had a couple of times where we've assisted, but that's the last time that's actually happened.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where be ready when it's time. So my goal is to get us some new equipment at zero cost to the town through the Florida grant. Al got set through the Florida grant, same idea. You got to go through a couple rounds and wait until there's extra money because they have a rule. You know, bunker gear and air packs come first for everybody. What they have left over, then you can buy the bigger stuff. I'm hoping for the bigger stuff. We got brand new bunker gear for everybody. We got brand new top of the line air packs for everybody. So we don't need those little things anymore. We have built where we got a brand new station. We got good trucks that will respond. No questions asked except for the brush truck. That thing's we got to do something there. Other than that, our trucks are good. Our equipment's good. Our people's good. Now we can work on the extra things that we would like to have, which is a good cutting gear.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have that safety compliance for those.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have it.
Yeah.
Because I help write those grants and I know they ask for the safety compliance.
Do you have a list of all the things, where I'm headed? Mr. Coffey, can I address you, I see where Sunny Hills frequently, and Country Oaks frequently, and some of the other departments, not quite as frequently, but also, has just got their picture in the paper.
For new grants.
Just got grants. I don't ever see on these reports where we even applied for.
We don't need them. We've already got them. That's the thing. We got them before they did. We
We
all
just
those
didn't get our
things.
pictures.
We've been doing that since 2015. We've gotten brand new. That's where our bunker gear came from. That's where our air packs came from.
So you don't need anything.
No. That's what you put me in charge for at that point in time, and we did
That
it.
sounds to me like folks from the press that ought to be.
That's why I come to you. That's why I used to come to you several times. Yeah, I come to you several times. You asked me, "Do you need something?" No, sir. We're doing it. We took charge and we're doing it. He's now taking charge. He's doing it.
Well, again, I come back to the phrase earlier, I think that's something that somebody ought to have told us about.
We did. Through those previous meetings, you heard them from me, and you've heard them from him. If you need, if we needed something,
So
we come
far,
to you.
it's not changed.
Yeah.
We're still good.
We're good. Everybody has brand new gear.
And it's really nice gear.
Yeah.
It's nicer than theirs.
It's called athletic. It's you can
We got
move
athletic.
in it. It ain't like the old style where it weighed you
I
down.
need to
Yeah.
start reading these things because I don't remember seeing that on these reports.
Yeah. Y'all signed for them whenever we won them in what 2018, 2019. We got them before Sam left.
I know we did, but
Yeah.
mine's actually before. Mine's 22,
How long is it gonna go?
23. Mine's.
How long is it
10
gonna
years.
go?
You had a 10-year round. Yeah. So
28.
and then basically it turns into brush gear after that. So
Or training gear.
yeah.
Okay, for the sake of time, anybody else have anything for our fire department?
Nothing from me.
Mr. Carter,
Yes, sir.
can the council limit the number of people on the roster?
The council has complete governance of the fire department.
We have a problem with that though,
So
sir.
I would suggest not limiting it to, and the council wouldn't, to a point where it can't do its job, obviously.
Not even suggesting that we do, but we can.
Absolutely.
Can we approve anybody who wants to join the fire department before they're put on the fire department?
Can the council just approve them without consulting
No,
these
no,
gentlemen
no.
and their credentials and?
Can we approve them after they've vetted?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think he's talking about the other direction.
They had to be presented to the council for,
Oh, my apologies. Yes, sir, absolutely.
you know, like the sheriff, he has to bring his deputies over to the county commissioners and get them
Yes, sir.
approved. Okay.
Absolutely.
So when you're taking an application, do you do a background check on?
Yes. There's
Actually,
a.
the town does. And the
county does a full physical.
The county has.
The county does
requires
a full physical, a
yeah.
criminal background. That's all required by the state before they're even allowed to join a
Yeah.
department. And that is always done.
That we have to
Quick question.
send,
We have that on all of our current?
yeah,
Yes.
we have to send them to talk to Miss Connie first.
They have to
They're
talk to
allowed
her before they're allowed to deal
I'm
with
not
that.
involved in that, I was just a question.
Now, it's,
Seems like
let me rephrase
pretty
that.
bold
Now, we do like, we'll vote to whether we want them because that way the county's not spending the money.
Yeah.
But as far as before they get to do anything with us, they must pass that physical and that background.
Why is that? Because they're not on their insurance.
No, it's their requirement.
They're actually required, from my understanding, they put insurance on them also.
Not on municipalities.
Well, if we respond for the county, we're actually acting under their insurance from what I was told.
Yeah, on
The county
Mutual
called me
aid.
and asked me, were we insuring our own people? And I said, yes.
a, yeah.
We always have.
Yeah.
But it's also required to be on a department, they must pass the state stuff,
Let me check.
state requirements,
State requirements, yeah, but that's.
Which is a
not- that's not it.
which is the criminal background and the physical and all that. Yeah, to be a firefighter in Washington County, you
And the
must
sheriff
pass
has
that.
actually got involved at times on certain questions of certain people.
Yeah,
And maybe we should, I should have said this at the outset, is that some things you're telling us tonight, probably most of us may not know.
Okay.
I was fire coordinator before there was fire coordinator, or
Yes.
Connie and I, and some of the things you said, I know and remember from when I did work. Some of the things you're telling us is things that we don't know. And that's another reportable item for us, that we need to be kept up. But on that same line, can we dismiss someone from our?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can take care of the murmuring, or we can't.
Understood.
And, okay, I think Ms. Blackburg addressed it, or some of us did, on our minutes. I'd like to see how many, if we got 14 people, we ought to have, how many you don't have at a fire? You have to have at least 4, you gotta have 2 engines.
Our charter says that we can hold 20.
Okay,
That's what our charter says.
okay.
That's active firefighters. That's not, has nothing to do with support.
I understand.
Just active
I understand
firefighters.
support, I understand all the
Yes.
theory, I understand all that.
That's why whenever you said if you can have less, I'd caution you on that because that's going to mess with your ISO.
I just want to know what we can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's an average number of people that responds to a fire?
honestly, 2 to 3 people.
2 to 3.
If you're lucky.
4 to 5 on a, yeah.
If you get a big structure, and now that's from our department. Now, especially right now, Al has the advantage of the county has paid guys at his department. So we know, if we get a call, we know we've got,
They're-
what, 2 to 3 minimum?
There's actually there's guys.
Oh,
at
3 to 4
Vernon.
minimum coming.
And
And we
Vernon.
know we'll have them coming from Vernon.
Yeah.
But as far as our our personnel, average is probably around 2 to 3. And it depends on the call.
And we're.
And the time of the day. Is it the weekday? Is it a weekend?
Right.
Evening,
We're all
daytime?
volunteers. That's something to remember.
It's,
And folks say you can't fire a volunteer.
You can't.
you can fire them, but.
You
What
can.
I'm getting at, we may have 20, and we may need 20. But if we need firefighters, if we need 20, we need 20, and they need to respond.
Finding 20 is the hard part.
Department to get a jacket or
Yeah.
whatever, or come to the meetings and fellowship on like that. We need firefighters that's responding when the bell goes off.
Well, sir, I will say that we had that in just like in any other group, club, whatever you call it, it's the 80-20 rule. 20 people is going to do 80% of the work every time. A lot of people thinks it's really cool to be a firefighter, and it is for a minute until it becomes work. And
I think I said for the sake of time, I was about to let y'all go. But I do want you to know my heart. I want to know what's going on with the fire department, and I want it to be seen in a positive thing.
yes, sir.
We have things in community. Now, you in particular, Mr. Smith, a
Yes, sir.
few years ago, started an Easter activity event.
Yes, sir.
You said, this is not a fire department thing. The firefighters are doing these, but
Right.
you didn't do it under the name of the fire.
No, we
That's
didn't.
good.
Yes.
I want to see our people involved in community things,
Mhm.
whether it's a Fun Day parade or a Christmas parade.
Now
Or,
that's one thing we still commit to is Easter every year. That's regardless of anything.
but,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to take you at your word now.
Mhm.
From now on, when I hear something that's been said, that this council said, or some of us on this council said, or something that we did, or some remark, I'm going to come to the two of you,
Please,
and I will expect you to do something about it.
absolutely. You have my word, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Does all of us agree with that?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
I just,
I agree.
if I don't hear anything, I can't do anything.
Okay,
For
That's
the
fair.
other incident,
that's fair enough.
I didn't know, so I couldn't do anything.
That's fair enough.
As soon as I found out, I took
That's
care
the
of
reason-
it.
That's the reason we asked you to come.
And that's fair.
And you needed to hear it from us. You didn't need to hear it off the street like we do.
And
Miss Lynn knows how to get a hold of me. If you can't get a hold of me, have her relay it to me, and I will get it taken care of.
And as I left y'all last time when I stood up here and sat down, my promise hasn't stopped. I'm still here. I'm still helping. I'm still responding. And if he calls me, I answer. We talk about our problems. We figure it out.
And I'll call you.
Yes, sir. You have.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Can we as a council, can we agree to ask somebody to come, physically come once a quarter at least?
Yes. I don't know whether if you're asking me, yes. I will try. If you want me to come every meeting, I can't guarantee every meeting, but I will do my best
And,
to show up at least.
I'm thinking as
Much as possible.
I'm thinking as an employee, he has the right to come and ask us for the things he needs to do his job with.
Yeah.
And this is a good forum. You got all 5 of us together.
Yeah.
I've seen too many times where you call, hey, what do you think about it? Yeah, that's all right with me. Pull it up. What you think?
Well, honestly, usually if I got an issue, Miss Lynn, here's what I need. Is this possible? And she's usually pretty good about getting me an answer.
We have to be careful about sunshine,
Yeah, that's why.
and we can violate that with an employee as well as we could with each other, so we have to be careful about that. as well.
Yeah, I've got no problem doing my best to try to remember to show up each week, each month.
Okay, we'll talk about this more if y'all want to, or unless you think it's a good idea, we'll ask him tonight and ask Lynn to begin to schedule that once a quarter. Is that good? Is that good?
Put it on the agenda.
Would you please do that? Okay. Do you know that in the ordinance that you're supposed to keep fire hydrants cleaned out around and all like that?
No, I did not know that. And I didn't see it in what I wrote,
It's in the-
or what was sent to me.
It's in the job description.
Okay.
So there's fire plugs, you don't even know where they are. They that high, weeds and stuff. So that might be something when y'all have another training, or you get people together, go over the SOGs and your job description in particular. And I'd like for us to consider adding because of the close relationship, adding the assistant chief as a part of that ordinance. We may need to look at our ordinance and add him as part of that as also an employee. If the chief goes tomorrow, does he automatically become the chief? What we do, I'd like for us to look at our ordinance again and see the line of succession, things like that, and maybe also include him as an employee of the city as well. That's just an afterthought, so we don't even have to discuss that. But please bring it back up as a table item, okay? Thank you, Mr. Owens.
You're welcome.
Thank you both for coming. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the price we pay for having two meetings that lasted 15 minutes.
I'm gonna do mine real quick. The water operator job was posted, it's running until January 31st, finally got that out. The bicentennial plaque purchase, we can still consider that if we want to. I think one was around $1,300, and I sent y'all the explanation of why it had the railroad on it instead of, no, it had the ship instead of the railroad. There's in your book, Fred Fox administration grant for the FERDAP, contract for the FERDAP grant. That's the $50,000 we got to do some work on the playground area. So his contract is in there. For the mayor to sign.
We've already approved that. This is just a.
We approved, yes.
5,000 off the top.
Basically, he'll.
This is standard wording, right? I mean, there's nothing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It says in about the middle of it, yeah, that he'll get 1,250, some of this all pre-reimbursement. What we do each year, because we're a small city, we can apply to have the money drawn down at the beginning. And usually they do that paperwork for us, so we don't have to front the money. We're able to draw it down as we need it. And Fred does all that paperwork for us. The council's asked that they have submitted dates and times for the Possum Festival.
Before we move on, do we need to vote on any of these? How does
No.
this work? Okay, thank you.
I know somebody said, and.
I gave y'all, if you'll look under the clerk tab, I gave you what the development club is asking for. It's generally the basic stuff. The only change was that they wanted to move the parade to coincide with, it should be under the clerk tab. So it is. Clerk tab. Yeah, you were back, it was back over there. It should be under that one.
We'll keep going.
Y'all don't have it.
You know, I picked this up early. Did you
Oh,
try
maybe
it?
in your papers in front of you then.
Yeah.
She said, I thought she said she laid on,
It's okay.
maybe not. Joe knows what they are.
No, it's not that big of a document.
It's over here. Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
I'm sure I checked these books and one had them. The only change was that they wanted to request that the parade change from 10 a.m. on Fun Day to 9 a.m. Because we're paying higher dollars now for people to sing at Fun Day. We wanted to get more out of them, basically, more, and so we wanted to start a little bit earlier. So the parade would be at 9 a.m. on Fun Day instead of 10 a.m. So we would start lining up at 8, we'd have the parade at 9, and then we go directly down to the Possum Festival. And the reason we need that approval from the council, one of the reasons that we apply for the parade route permit, the council does. We have to put those times and stuff on them.
Okay. Help me reconcile now what this is and what this is. Suggested time for the Christmas parade and the Fun Day parade, that's on Fun Day, that's August the 2nd, and you're saying at 9 o'clock.
Yep, and it says that they're changing it from 10 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay, and then
And then the light at the square, we wanted to ask for the parade, we wanted to encompass it all this year. The light at the square, the parade, the Santa at the fire station, because we had such a good turnout this year. Many people asked us, well, what about Santa? What about Santa? We didn't do Santa Claus because we knew the fire department was doing Santa Claus the next week. But what we wanted to ask the council was to have December 6th again, the first Saturday, have the parade starting at 1 p.m. They would line up at 12 noon, so they would come, we'd have the parade, they'd come over to the fire station, they'd see Santa, get snacks, and then right after that, the light at the square would start. Our singing, our vendors would already be set up.
But we're still talking about that. The fire department, though, is going to coordinate the Santa activities and make sure.
Right.
Still do the Santa and the Santa visits
Right.
and stuff like that. As a-
Right.
well,
We'd have,
Mr. Smith,
We've had this discussion many times.
now, this is one of those divided things.
Huh?
Okay.
Can we undivide it? This is one of those things that's been contentious. Can we?
I will ask them again. That's the best I can say.
Well, here's the thing. Please, I ask you the same question and should have cowboy that I did in
That's fine.
engineer. Have I been rude or?
No, sir.
I've
No,
been
it's, we're good.
straightforward, but
Yes,
not
sir.
rude.
Yes, sir.
With that said, Mr. Smith, Mr. Carter, if we want the fire department to have a parade on the 6th, we can say have a parade on the 6th.
Absolutely. There's no function of the fire department is not governed by this council.
Except that my name's on that permit. But that has neither there.
Respectfully, we can change that.
I mean, well, you have to find somebody who's MOT certified to change that.
There are ways.
Yes, sir.
we need to wait. What does that mean? Like,
You have to have somebody who's MOT certified to sign, that's the signer for how you're going to set up the traffic control.
who does that for Fun Day?
Through your personal job?
It's been me for years.
You do that for Fun Day as well?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Are you willing to help us with that?
I always have.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me.
I do apply for it. That must be something he does in the background because their name.
No, you should be submitting there should be a diagram as part of your permit. My name should be on that diagram.
It's not.
We do it different every year.
It wasn't this year.
Yeah, it's,
Well, this year, I didn't know it was supposed to be on there.
Yeah, there's typically a diagram of how we're going to set up traffic control,
Yeah.
and we've got it two ways: one for Christmas and one for possible. It's no big deal, and this is neither here nor there. If we've had this conversation, the Possum Day Parade is always, I mean, the Christmas parade has always been the second week of Christmas, or second week of December, because it follows up right before Vernon's. That way we do ours, and then we go help them with theirs. It just makes people available. And then our personal Christmas party is also on that same night. It's just tradition. That's always the way they've always had it. If it changes, if we can change it, we'll change it.
So, did the council change that? Because
No.
no more the fire department runs town, no more the club runs the town, so.
Right.
We need to, when did that change from the second? He's right about that, it's always been. the
It's
second
always been
Saturday.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
That's just from my understanding. Not to interrupt, but from my understanding, the development club picked. They just wanted a full month for their stuff to be out there running. That was the whole point. I get it. That's cool. I understand. But do we change our ways for their new ways? I don't know. And that's the way they looked at it across the street.
Yeah.
You know, why do we have to change for them when they want to do something different?
Yeah, so one of the things I'll express, Adam, is that, and others here might speak to this if they feel like they want to speak to that. I think I have heard people maybe in this place say this, but one of the things that I heard this year, and then the expression included last year, was the Christmas parade appears to have been dwindling down and very little participation.
It comes and goes every year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't determine who's going to show up. We can't determine how many people's going to be in the parade. It's just we have what shows up.
Absolutely, and so that was a lot of, and I'm really going off now again as a councilman,
Sure.
is that was a lot of that conversation on the street that day, not people,
Sure.
just general public people that were very disappointed, and
I was actually surprised we had as much as we did this year.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty deep better than it's been. I've had 4 trucks in a parade, and we
Yeah.
called it a parade.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it was just us.
I get it. And so the goal here was for the sake of Wausau, not for the sake of Development Club, not for the sake of, because if this had not been, I was going to ask this to be the case, that for the sake of Wausau, to try to make that day a big day in which, because the Light Up the Square thing has really grown and it started gathering a lot more people. And so really, just to incorporate that all in one big day, and
Oh, first of all, bravo! Y'all did
Yeah.
a fantastic job. It was a very good event.
right, and just the feeling was, and I agree with that incorporating this together could only benefit the parade. If that's the goal, if the goal is really to give to the community and to give back to the community and to support the kids, to me, it feels like a great win to put these two things together. To keep it a fire department parade, not even, keep all that organization the same. And if the fire department's willing to continue in that light, that's my feeling. I think that it would benefit the town to put the two things together, to bring that into what is currently a very successful event.
I'd say both of them are. When we have our events, we have quite a few people come, kids to see Santa. I mean, it's.
Would they not consider keeping it where it's always been historically? On the second Saturday?
Well, Club really doesn't run it. I mean, that was just a recommendation request.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Well, and the reason was because it's such a big setup. The club wanted the tree to stay up as long as it could. And we had to get tractors and stuff out here to put this big humongous tree that we
I
have
know,
now.
I truly do.
It's a lot of work. We spend the majority of the day getting it up. And so our thought was we wanted it to stay the whole month. We've got to do all the work. And so that was,
I understand that, and 2 observations on that. One is do it the week between Thanksgiving and the first week, and the other one is, if you have it on the second, then you got an extra week to get it up. Or put it up on the first week and just let it be up there all week, and then have your tree light in the evening or something like that.
Yeah, and again, I'm just going to reiterate, if the desire of everyone is for the promotion of the community, that's really what our root goal is, and not just for ourselves. At this point, our community, I believe, would benefit the most by moving that parade to be on that day when there are lots of people in the area. And so to me, if the drive is to benefit the community, forget benefiting one, if we're not really going to try to benefit each organization, we know, and yes, there's some people, there's a group of people that show up for Santa. I'm not negating that at all. But it's really nowhere near the number of people that.
You're saying your event's better than mine.
No, I'm not.
No, I mean, flip the table
Sure.
and saying, hey, we can take ours and mix it with yours and make yours even better and make it an all-day event. You're saying the same thing.
I'm not really, because I don't see that would be the case.
Why? You don't think the same amount of people would come a week later?
Yeah, that was my question. You said there's a lot of people in that.
You're just saying that
Why are they in
it's
there?
because it's us, we have a better event, and you should come over to our group. That's what you're saying.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't realize that was your restatement. That is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if the city, I'm okay. I'll move on if the city doesn't want to ask us to do that. I'm not going to get all up in arms about it. I think it's better for the community, and that is it's an opinion, a personal opinion. I think that the numbers show that it is.
Would you agree that 1 week wouldn't matter either direction? Would you not draw the same people the next week?
I think that it's possible, but I think the nature of the event and the nature of the setup, for some reason, that weekend draws a lot of vendors. It appears to be a good week for vendors, and based on the fact that we're pulling a lot of vendors and we're pulling a lot of people, we pull a lot of funding. I think that we found a niche that works,
But you've only tried it once in that 1 day. You haven't tried it the next week.
Actually, if it stayed on the second, that gives you another week between Thanksgiving and the Christmas trade. You stack it around probably short.
yeah.
Could we do like you mentioned a while ago, go ahead and put the decorations up first weekend in December? And then have our parade and everything the second Saturday?
That is what we currently do.
That's what we do. But I understand it's a chore
Right.
to have all that
You don't have
together.
them together. You have one on the first weekend.
I get it.
One on the second weekend.
Absolutely, that's what we're currently doing. And my thought was that, I think that maybe some people in this room have expressed that desire, but might not be willing to express it out loud here. That the general feeling is that that if you're going to choose one of those events to draw things to, let me be fair, the Joe Phillips feeling. That's my feeling, and I'm willing to say that's what it is. I don't have any hesitancy to say that. I think that as we see the progression of events and participation, I think there's a difference in the organization of both of those, and I frankly think the organization of and the planning for one is a lot better than the other, and so that's the reason I'm willing to say the first is the better one, and we're asking people to accommodate that date. I don't see a struggle with accommodating it. There's really no struggle to accommodate the ask. But I get it, if the point is, no, I'm not going to accommodate, then we really don't, I'm not trying to have a big blow up about it.
Who organizes the parade?
Fire department.
Okay.
Always have.
Currently
Just,
organizes it.
just by history. I organized the first one.
Yeah.
But the first band that ever played in Wausau from the high school's first grade.
I don't think you're going to get a band.
No, we get the Vernon Band every year.
We used to have
Yeah.
chicken every day.
And that's what another point was, it ain't just, those people come here, then those people go there. That's why those parades work back to back. That's why they made theirs at 1 o'clock and ours at 10.
And those bands brings along some parents and grandparents and things like that.
Yeah.
Mr. Butler.
I just wanted to interject that on the second Saturday in December is when Panama City has all their parades.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
you may
common.
not draw as much of a crowd on the second Saturday because they're going down there.
It's possible.
Not as a rule, but on an off election year, when the Fun Day parade is smaller, and Fun Day activities are smaller, we have had some Christmas parades that would rival one of the small Austin parades.
Have a
So
good Christmas parade.
we've had some big
Yeah.
Christmas parades, so.
I don't think Panama will have any problem.
And theirs is at night, you might as well go to the Panama Christmas
Well, they
parade.
got Lynn Haven, all of them kind of do it at the same time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
A lot of people go, I know people that go down
Yeah.
there and parade.
Look, I'll be the first to say it. I truly don't care. I will be happy to move it, but I can't convince everyone to do that.
So go ahead.
I think the council's just gonna have to decide.
Yeah.
The development club is not willing to take the second Saturday because it's so much work for us to get that tree up. We want the tree up to stay the whole time. We're fine separating from the parade. We just wanted it to come together to be a big afternoon event for the town.
For the sake of the town.
The town, that was all.
Why can't you put the lights up the first weekend in December, or the weekend after Thanksgiving? And then on the second Saturday, have the parade and the light of the square at the same time?
Well, the club just didn't want to do it because it only leaves the tree lighted for about 2 weeks. And the amount of work we put into trying to get it to work, scheduling, vendors, all that kind of stuff, we just felt like it was too much work. We wanted to stay up just as long as it could because it's a lot of work to get the thing up.
And with the Christmas tree, the lights are the thing. And the day that tree and people come looking at it, they don't know if it's Saturday the 1st or Saturday 15th or anything else. It's just sitting there in the yard in the day. What makes the Christmas, what makes the square are the lights. And again, lots of options. You can turn on all the lights except the Christmas tree and light it on the second Saturday. But that's not the effect that the club is looking for.
I'll tell you what, I'll take it back to them. I'll be happy to. Joe, personally, I don't care. I truly don't.
Yeah, I get it. And again, the only reason I'm willing to take this
thing
on is for the sake of the town.
The only thing is history. That it's just what we've always done, and sometimes I can't change that.
Yep.
That's why I said I think the council's gonna have to decide.
Honestly, I truly don't care. I can do it one weekend or I can do it the other weekend.
And that's the reason, and again, that's the reason I'm thinking that it's okay to change. I mean, I have as big a history with the fire department as anybody.
And you know that,
And so-
that what you said earlier would totally offend them.
Yeah,
Because-
I get it, and I'm willing to say that out loud, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at events and being involved in those events. I'm making my decision based on my personal observations, not the speakings of other people. And
The old story about if 2 people or 3 people saw an accident, there'd be that many versions of it. And as you just said,
Absolutely.
our opinions, my opinion is, it's better to have it all together. Well, my opinion is that we did this much when they were separating the first one this, and so I think the only way we want to do it is to try it one time and see if there's any difference.
Well, we tried it last year and I didn't notice any difference. Last year we did it their way.
last year I wasn't here, so I don't
Last
know.
year you what?
Last year we did it y'all's way. We did it.
The first year that you had the tree lighting, it was
Yeah.
separated.
Yeah.
It was separate.
I mean.
No, it was
No,
together. We
no,
did.
yes, I know.
Y'all asked us to try it and
But
we
when
didn't.
the
There
first
was no
tree
difference.
lighting, it was done the
It was
same
done
day.
together, yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't hardly have anybody at the parade that day.
And it was a very bad parade. Nobody showed up.
We had nobody here.
No.
Yeah. I'm-
We have
I'm
a
gonna go with the
schedule,
council.
and we have a schedule that the community kind of evolves around that schedule. And that's the way it's always worked. And even those two parades work hand in hand. Especially with the people who show up for those parades, because they leave here and go straight there.
Yeah, Vernon will come here and we'll do it, Vernon, yeah.
Yep.
That's always been, okay. All right, what's the pleasure of the council?
Why don't we split these up if you don't mind?
Let's talk about it some more at another meeting.
Can we go ahead and recommend the Fun Day Parade? Because that date is earlier and we need to
Right.
get that.
And that's no issue.
On the table.
I can tell you now, we won't have any issue.
Yeah.
No.
Is that okay with you? Sure. Mr. Mayor, that I
Yes,
make a
sir.
recommendation that we, whatever that wording is there.
We have a motion that the Fun Day Parade be set on August the 2nd and begin at 10 a.m.,
9
beginning at 9 a.m. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
We have a motion, a second, any discussion on the motion? How you vote, Ms. Feinberg?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Park?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I think that Ms. Judy's asked that, Ms. Carter asked that maybe we table that other discussion for
Right.
another time.
Yeah.
Well,
If you'll give me a chance to take it back to them, we'll have that conversation, and we'll bring it to
Can
you.
you do that before the next meeting?
We'll bring it to you the
We
next
don't need
meeting.
to continue to put it off, and vote on it in July or something. We need to,
No, we'll
everybody needs to know. what-
give me a minute just to take it back to them, please.
Okay, we have a motion to table the Light Square and Christmas Parade.
I'm
Is there a
sorry, who made
second?
the motion? Carter.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion on the motion? The chair votes yes. Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Ms. Rattenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Carter? Yes. Mr. Carter?
Yes.
There's much else. Look, we need to set the cleanup dates for waste management for 2025. We're suggesting they stay kind of what they are now, March 17th through the 21st, June 23rd through the 27th, September 15th through 19th, and December 22nd through the 26th of 2025.
And this basically once a quarter, is that the?
Okay, that's what they've agreed to. I think if we can shift a month, I don't know. Having it here on the 22nd through the 26th, they'll be gone the week after Christmas when everybody's got stuff to clean.
They loaded 4 of them to the ground this year, that week. But we can move it back if we want to.
I mean, they're full every
They can move
time.
them back as before Christmas, so that's not like.
No, I'm talking about, you're talking about the week after Christmas you want them?
Yeah, but then that puts us into 26. That fourth week will be in 2026.
Are you saying?
No, just leave it like it is, the 22nd through the 26th.
I could see that these have worked, like,
Yeah, but
there's no
week
shortage of use.
Because I move the week, if you move the week, that's gonna put us in January.
You're talking about having the week
Are
after
you saying you
Christmas.
wanna hold that last batch of dumpsters till the end of December?
Well,
I'll put it
you know,
from
if we do,
26th to the
yeah,
31st.
and if we do that, if we do that, then everybody's gonna throw away trash, they don't go in the ring cans anyway.
Yeah.
You know? I'm sorry, what did you said?
I said change the date from instead of the 22nd to the 26th of December,
Mhm.
start the day after Christmas,
Mhm.
through the end of the year. From the 26th to the 31st.
Yeah. What's-
You'd still be in the.
You got a calendar when it's 26.
I don't.
Friday.
Day after
It's on
Christmas.
Friday?
This year it's the day after Christmas. I don't know when it is
What's that
next
next
year.
week, too? Start on Monday.
29th, so it's not a full week.
So it'll be 29th, January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Yeah, and maybe we could just ask them just to leave it here through the 27th, which is the Saturday, right? Just to say, because like I said, people fill that thing up, and that's when it was here last year, so that works.
They usually stay over.
We'll have to get Roger to clean his house a little faster.
I need to get the third quarter on it.
That's right.
Okay, well, let's make a decision if you talked with management about this already?
I don't, we have to have it approved by the council first.
Okay. Right. You said start on the 26th?
That's what I
That would be
said,
on
start on.
Friday.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be the 29th on a Monday.
Huh. Oh, they have to start on, they don't want to leave it, we can't do that.
Well, they usually leave them on the weekend, but they like us to schedule 5 work days. To get their employees to drop
Oh,
them,
okay,
and then,
okay.
Okay, well, we better leave it like it is.
Well, Friday's a work day.
they'll usually leave them over the weekend.
Okay.
Especially something like that, that after Christmas, they
Yeah.
won't pick them up until the next.
They won't pick them up till Monday or Tuesday anyway.
Yes.
Okay. All right, leave it like it is. Everybody
Leave it
like it is.
Leave it like it
Okay,
is.
that's fine.
Can we get a motion?
Can we get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Can we get a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? How you vote, Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Ms. Fryberg?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Mr. Carter?
Yes.
That's all I had. I did give y'all an invitation to a Reflection Under the Stars, which is a chamber event. If you want to go, if you'll let me know, I'll sign you up. It's no cost. I think it's no cost.
And don't forget that, this Saturday is grand opening.
Oh, yeah, the grand opening of the Dollar General is this Saturday. They want y'all there at 7:45 a.m. if you want to be in the photo op. The celebration will start at 8 a.m. The first 50 customers will get a $10 gift card from Dollar General.
Now, are we candidates for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The council.
Do you have any idea about Brooklyn, anything? We can been out of the pan of that. Looks to me like all this.
No, I don't. They've been a little difficult to get information from, but I did get the notice last week that they were going to have the grand opening. And I've invited the county commissioners. I mentioned it at the EDC meeting, and some of the EDC board wanted to
I was
come.
going to ask you about that.
Mhm.
Cindy, what's her name, Burge, was very instrumental in making the first contact, the first call to somewhere out in Mississippi, and they called me 2 or 3 years later, this has happened, but, EDC, that's good that you did that.
Yep.
Thank you.
The weather's not supposed to be good, but they haven't told me they're canceling it. So if you want to be at the photo op, it's gonna be at 7:45. Be there. I think they'll take the pictures right after that. And then it will start at 8 a.m. That's all I get.
Okay.
And I did ask our fire chief if he might consider bringing an apparatus, just again as a PR.
Yeah, absolutely.
That, you know, that's with people available. We can't make a commitment to that.
You get a photo op, you get a fire again.
Yeah. I just think it's good to
Okay.
promote.
That it, Madam Clerk?
That's all I
Mr.
got.
Clark, you have anything?
No.
Ms. Rattnberg?
I do not.
Mr. Phillips?
Not for discussion tonight, but I want to bring up, you don't have to tell me why tonight. I want to bring up if maybe we could, is 6 may work a little bit better than 5. And why? Because I think our charter does mention a later time. We can have conversations later about it. I just wanted to bring up that as a discussion
And
point.
as you look at the charter, there's a lot of things.
I know. But I'm saying it would allow for that, but there's probably a reason, and I'm willing to, when we get together, maybe talk about it next time, we can discuss that.
Ms. Carter?
No.
The only thing I have tonight is, when I like our format and things like that we do here, but I wonder, I don't like being behind, and I need my memory jogged a little more. I wonder, I don't need what John did tonight, but could we come right in here where it says, on the clerk, and the first 2 lines there will be, budget, update or budget report, and the next one will be grant report.
Okay, every time?
Every time.
Okay.
If we know what our budget's doing, we'll know better how to manage our resources
Right.
and things like that. And if we, whatever else I was gonna say, budget and, the grant report. He went away tonight. Now, if anything's done in the next 30 days, I'd like to know what it was.
Okay.
In the next 30 days, what it was. Did they dig a hole? Did they drive a nail? Dig a ditch? If we get here 2 or 3 more months, and he said, well, it's gonna be 30 days, after a while, we'll be eating that stuff up, and we'll be back with our hat in our hand, asking for another extension. Who was, or we just do that?
Yeah, I can
We
do
just
it.
do that.
Can we go back to 15-minute meetings next week?
That's fine.
Yeah, our last 2 minutes was like 20 minutes or something, but
Yeah, Jeff.
yeah. That always happens when you get new man on the board, they just
It's past my bedtime, sorry.
pass a little bit down. Well, I would have had a motion to adjourn. So moved.
I'll make
So
that
that's-
motion.
That's adjourn. But, I'm sorry, Mr. Carter, did you have things for us?
No, sir.
That you have?
100% good, thank you.
He's like, no way, I'm stopping that. I'll second it.
Mr. Mayor. In favor will say aye.
Aye.
Yep, yes.
Aye.
Sir.
I'm sorry, I was gonna ask if I could speak on something,
Go ahead.
before y'all adjourn, just 2 minutes of your time, if you don't mind. I'm not only a firefighter here, I also am the vice president of Kent Smith Group. We're not allowed to approach after you advertise for the CEI services for Jackson and Jefferson. So I want to personally stand up for my company and say that we are interested in performing this work. We're here, we're your people, we're your neighbors, and we appreciate your consideration. That's all the time I'll take.
Thank you. Thank you.